Hey, traders. Welcome to the weekly candle close stream. Hope you had a great weekend. You were able to take your mind off the charts some for good reason because of the crazy dump. Volatility insane. where ever since that selling climax, that crazy sell-off that got you down to $42,000, you've rallied. You are looking like you're going to go test 50K maybe in the next hour. Like, I don't know. Like, so I don't know what happened to the data. Remember, we were here and like the wick existed on the 4-hour. It's gone now. And now on the daily, it still exists, right? It actually hit the pattern completion zone of the bullish shark pattern perfectly. And right near that old support resistance from January and many other times this year. So not doing much after the scam wick or the wick back up above pretty real support resistance. I mean, at like 48K, you don't want to fall below that, otherwise you go straight back down to 42K again. Is there what would be considered an edge yet? No, man. After dumps like that, it takes a lot of time to develop everything we're looking for again. Weekly candle will be closing in 48 minutes and change, where it's not really pretty. It's still you haven't made a lower low than the previous low from September 27th, so you're still okay. What about that demand line? Did that demand line get broken? Damn it, you're like right at it. I mean, you are certainly breaking a demand line that goes back to July and September. So that breakdown's occurring. So there could be more downside. First level of negative momentum you've seen on the weekly since August 9th. So in multiple months. And you just got to wonder how much more negative momentum will we see in the coming weeks. Will it be a lot or just a little? Hoping just a little, right? Okay, so just kind of giving you a rundown, since I don't know how we can top that that stream we had, the last stream I did. There was like an hour and a half and almost 20,000 views. 2,000 people watching like the whole time. I mean, some serious price action ushering in a lot of fear. So glad to see all. That's Bitcoin. Let's go to Ethereum real quick. That is so much better. I mean, it's so good that it's like, wow, trying to get back above towards the end of the day, it's trying to get back above the daily candle high close from May 11th, right? Can you believe that? I mean, yeah, sure, you may fail and it does top out. You make confirmation high, you know, like if maybe it doesn't hold 39.50, it could be going a lot lower. But for now, comparative to everything else in this market, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And, you know, something happened this weekend on the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart on the daily, and it's amazing. Okay, it's amazing. Well, let's stick to the Ethereum to the US dollar just to see that I'm plotting it different. You know, yeah, we had the harmonic here. Okay, they reciprocal ABCD. It's awesome. It played out. It worked out. It was, you know, but we're just trying to keep it a little bit cleaner. You know, the more stuff you put on a chart, the more busy it becomes, the harder it is for anyone to even understand what's going on the chart. So just, you know, the uptrend is presented here with the, you can see the two parallel trend lines. And so that demand line hadn't even been broken. The one that Bitcoin's currently breaking, Ethereum's not breaking it at all. It's not even falling below actual supports and resistances. In fact, it's trying to get back above them. So yeah, you think like if things get real bad for Bitcoin and it somehow bleeds back out to 42K, 40K, you think that maybe eventually this could happen? I mean, I don't trust it yet. You know, there's so much more work that has to be done. But you'd be looking for Ethereum. I mean, we're talking, this is like worst case scenario stuff, chat. This is like not valid really at all yet, even though you might be in the midst of developing it.
Yo, Mitch,
Jesus.
Atom/USD, please.
Oh, yeah, dude. I gotta turn that down. My God. FT, thanks for the 20. We'll look at Atom. Atom and all these other ones look very, very similar to each other, right? Rect, Incorporated. So we're just saying, like, if the market has reversed for a while, then the best value area to take a long would be around 3K. I hope we never get there. I hope it's so powerful to support up here at 4K and 4200 that we never fall again and we just moon. That'd be great. That'd be ideal for everyone, okay? But we're just talking about swing trading and looking for harmonics, deep value perceived areas. That's what we're looking for, okay? It's all about the ifs. And so far, the if is Ethereum has not broken supports. That's it for now. Let's look at something not doing as well as Ethereum, but is comprised partially of it.
I like turtles.
You know, totals is now chopping at the danger zone, the major level of inflection that you need to hold above for real. 2.2, 2.3 trillion right there. You fell below it, hit the 200-day moving average for the first time since September 22nd, but what a bounce, and you're still safe. Things are okay right now. What's going on? Oops. Yeah, so you stay above this level long enough, everything will be good. You'll run back to 3 trillion probably eventually, but it's just you don't know with Bitcoin. And I think this also broke a demand line. Another demand line broken for sure. Like you just plotted it on like Ethereum. There it is, broken. Like undeniably broken. No edge on like anything right now. So futures are open again, are they not? I don't know. I think my thinkorswim's broken right now. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like restart it if we want to look at the live Bitcoin futures. Hold on. In the meantime, what we can do is look at the S&P 500 futures live, where wow, no devastation, no volatility spikes, nothing crazy, nothing limiting down, up 0.45%. Okay, so not scary yet. No fall through, no Black Monday vibes quite yet, especially on the, or at least on the futures, you know. Whoops. Hold on. Because I can't get Bitcoin's futures price up on this because it's delayed. But yeah, you think, I mean, right? The whole thing was like, we've talked about what you're looking for if you want a trend reversal where it's going to be a bear trend, but we're way off that. And until we fall below 4,300, it's not even close to being in jeopardy. That's the first thing that has to happen if you want a trend reversal. If you want a bear trend, you break below the previous discernible swing low, and then you keep dumping, you break supports, then you rally, and then when you rally, you eventually make substantially lower high than the previous high, and then you dump again, make a lower low, and then the trend has reversed, right? Because that's what it's about. It's trending downward. It's trending insanely upward, right? Unstoppable so far. Yeah, like now here we go. All right, this is what you want to see here, okay? So while you're here on the stream, look at the futures on Bitcoin, where you have gapped down without a shadow of a doubt. You closed on Friday at $53,661. You are currently sitting at $49,500. So you think, I mean, maybe that gap would fill, you know? Look at the Dow Jones and the S&P starting out, you know, just up. I mean, Dow Jones up 0.3%. Oh, this is the NASDAQ up 0.03%. Here's your S&P. There it is. Yep, up 0.24%. So not getting devastated. Good stuff. That's probably good for Bitcoin and all the alts at this point. You know, I think that's part of why all this selling happened. Okay, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, the futures, very bad. Let me see. I'm gonna bring it up even though it's delayed. By the way, unfortunately, chat, bad news. Bitcoin's back below $1 trillion market cap. Go. Big goes in the chat. Here it is, right? Here is the Bitcoin futures chart. It's not quite up to date, it's delayed by 10 minutes, but it's good enough for us what we're trying to do here. All right, so you think the gap's up, 53.6. You think that would fill? Look at the 200-day moving average, chat. This is incredible here, right? You're at it, you're testing it, and no lower yet. It's pretty cool. Maybe that holds. Maybe nothing looking left really holds. Maybe this high from August 24th holds too. I don't know. Still making higher lows until you fall below 40K, 42K. That's everything. Literally everything. So you think, I mean, how did spot price do the harmonic, right? But this one didn't. This one didn't do the shark yet. It couldn't. Because we had such a resounding rally while the market was still closed. And we're talking like, it would have hit this, like say this was open, you would have been going down to critical levels, and that's a solid support area, definitely. These have been plotted for a while. I haven't looked at this chart in a long time because I just don't, I'm looking at the real-time price data. Okay, so that happened, and you've rallied some. We'll see if we get a gap fill. So, like, all the other gaps have filled, right? I mean, I guess one didn't. The one from December of last year did not fill at 23,580. The one from July is not filled. But now you have a new one. It's right here. That's your gap fill. I gave Bama no chance on Friday. No, I was just being realistic and talked about that there were two certain mismatches and Bama played well. I put money on Bama. I have physical evidence that I did that. So I put my money where my mouth was for the game as the whole, world was taking Auburn, or not Auburn, Georgia. Say what you want, man. You come in here and say that crap, whatever. I was just being real and talking about actual things that the events that occurred during the season that gave you a consensus on what an analysis would be. That's my team. That's my school. My alma mater. Okay. Plus, I've already got tickets to the playoff game in Dallas. All right, let's go to Cardano. It's down 3.3%. Something magical happened on this asset, chat. Cardano is sitting 88% retrace of its bullish bat pattern. I mean, it's a textbook bullish bat right there. You've reacted some, but not much, man. You're about to close at another lower low, lower candle close than yesterday's close. Yesterday's close was the technical breakdown below the February 26 high. Major area. So it's like below this area, you think it could always get a 103, 107 easy. But this is around the area where it's time to start monitoring Cardano again, because there could be an amazing opportunity in time. Not on the reaction low. We're normally looking for confirmation lows, but if you're at the reaction low, don't be surprised that this is an area where it kind of majorly reverses temporarily to make eventually a lower high than previous highs, to dump again, to come back to this same level. Then for the double bottom, the inverse head and shoulders, whatever would develop. You're looking for some sort of bullish reversal pattern, structure consolidation to develop at these levels. The 886 from the previous discernible swing low from June to the high from September 4th. All right, so finally at really good value areas. Now we're waiting for something to develop here. Now you just can't be surprised if something happens here, because throughout history, assets that hit these levels, create these M shapes, they do stuff here. This could very well do it too. Binance coin down 2.5%. That bearish dragon stuff. I mean, it broke the demand line. Definitely broke the demand line. Has retraced. It got from its previous low to high. Retraced 50%. What's up, OX man? Thank you, dude.
Dollar Hobby, ERC20. Anything interesting here? THX Mitch.
Thank you, dude. I don't know. We'll look at it. We will look at it. So for BNB, it certainly doesn't really look good for upside right now quite yet, even though it could. I think there's some work to do. You just made a lower high than the previous high, and you pretty much made a lower low than the previous low, about the same low. So I mean, it's not over yet. There could be a lot more downside if 510 breaks. If Bitcoin wants to go back down to 42K for the second test. Okay, this thing's going down below 500 again. Almost something you could say about this low and the next low, higher levels. Like it's like diverging. It's almost like for real bullish divergence going on BNB right here. But it just went up and tested that old demand line as a supply line this weekend. Bitcoin did something similar to its own respective levels. I think Ethereum is even doing kind of similar. They broke these supports and they're just back testing them as resistance now on these rallies. Okay, so I mean, we need some more data to maybe see where the direction of this entire asset class is going. Certainly lots of fear going on right now. Weekly, man, that's some. Yeah, I mean, you look good. I mean, it doesn't look as good as Ethereum or anything, but you're about to on the weekly have a bearish engulfing candle. But again, as long as you can stay above $500, you'll be all right. You'll be fine. I mean, below $500 though, you got to understand you're probably going down to 388, 350. You don't hold 500 on this one. I mean, it's the X, the A, the B, the C, and the D, and you're reacting here. If the trend's extremely stupidly bullish, you'll react, you'll consolidate for a while, and then you'll break upward again and continue on this unbelievable bullish trend. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and it's all on Bitcoin. Bitcoin dictates this entire market, dude. Coordinates to the Decentraland is like, what is it, minus 116.83 or something? Let's see. I can't remember off the top of my head. It is... Oh, 63 minus 118. That's the coordinates in Decentraland. Where people are spending millions of dollars now on things in Decentraland. It's unbelievable. Virtual real estate's actually selling for stupid amounts, depending on what it is. It's so crazy, man. So I don't know. That's it, man. That's like, I guess we're going to run out the clock for 30 minutes. Waiting for the weekly to close. That's, you know, not really doing too hot. Yeah, weekly on Bitcoin again. Did we even look at the weekly on Bitcoin? Yeah, we did look at it, but nothing yet. Your lowest candle close since the week of September 27th. Gonna be a shark? No, I don't think so. It's way too deep of a retrace on what will be C or 0xABC. I think you just made one. I think you just made the shark. You just hit the pattern completion zone of the bullish shark. But you could probably, I think you could. I could make it visible on the weekly and it would exist. I'm saying the daily, it's way more discernible. Yeah, I mean, definitely like from a high here to the higher high. I mean, you can't argue. It's definitely lower levels of relative strength for now. Back to neutral. Can never get overbought anymore. It's just rough stuff. 3-day candles closing too, in 30 minutes. 3-day right here. Yeah, it's extremely visible on this time scale as well. I mean, no edge. Negative momentum's building at its highest level since June 9th. Yikes. And lowest level of relative strength you've seen since July 18th. Well, you got to go back multiple months when we were bottoming out to be seeing the oscillators the way they are right now.
Is BTC in a weekly pennant with a retest?
A weekly pennant. Weekly pennant. Like this is all of it. With the retest, I don't really think so. Right? I mean, you know, log scale. Don't really want to be topping out here. Just think about in log scale, like breaking the neckline of a potential double top would be like you'd have to break below 30,000 before you could say it's a confirmed double top, and the target would certainly be the previous all-time high from 2017. Really hope that doesn't happen. You know, like with what's going on in the world, the way they are just debasing fiat currencies, which is literally just stealing from all the citizens around the world. Like, how could this thing like go down? You know, like who's like selling into like fiat? Like, what are you doing? Like, the system, unless they keep debasing, is going to collapse. So still, just fundamentally speaking, the conviction you need to have like in this space is so real still. It's based on how fake everything else is. This is real. Supply and demand, finite supply, more demand for anything, or for an asset with this limited supply, this global. This is like the first time it's ever been like this. There's ever been anything like this. So we'll see what happens, man. Okay, I'm just running out the clock. I mean, there's not much action today at all. Everything's kind of like devastated. I think we had a request, and it was Adam. Yeah, Adam down 13.3%. It's ugly, man. Look, these are areas that if the macro isn't going bearish, then these are great areas for longs. But as you can see, we screamed it. Screamed it. If Bitcoin dumps, it doesn't matter how good something is, what spring it's doing, what back test, what engulfing candle. None of it matters because the macro will dictate where this thing goes. It is now broken below critical support. This is like you're out. You're not in this. There could be so much downside on this asset. Even if it breaks back above 28.49, right now you're below it. And that's normally very bad because historically what happens when you're below this 2650 area, straight down to 1650. And eventually straight up, straight down to 1650, then straight up thrust, straight down to 1650. Okay, that could happen again if Bitcoin wants to dump. And very well could, man. You don't know. Everyone it was the Kool-Aid. It was the 100K Plan B Kool-Aid. And it's clearly wrong. Very, very wrong. Like, Bitcoin will not be at 100K end of year. Like, that's pretty much certain now after the dump we just saw. Because the rally we had seemed so automatic. It doesn't seem, there's no volume quite yet again on Bitcoin. Some buyers came in, sure, but they might have just been a bunch of limit buys down there at 42K.
I'm posting it in Patreon's chat.
Okay. Maybe. No, I mean, like, the bottom's stupid. That's an arbitrary anchor point on the bottom. Why are you anchoring there? You need to have 2 anchor points, right? 2 anchor points for a trend line. You have 1 anchor point, random. Doesn't make any sense right here. Random. You're not even, like, what is this? Where's you actually anchoring? I don't think that's real. That wouldn't actually be a demand line. If it came down to it, it wouldn't test it. That's nothing. Top is, I get kind of what you're doing there. Kind of 2 touches. Maybe, but it's not a pennant. It's nothing. I mean, a supply line is maybe possibly being tested as demand line, maybe. I'm about to just turn off these noises. The noise just keeps bugging out. I can't change it. I can't make it not freak out and make that weird stuttering noise at the beginning. So Gergo, thanks, man. Ren. Yeah, everyone felt entitled to 100K. Pretty much, man. Everyone's got to sober up now. Everyone was drunk for too long on the crypto romanticism. You gotta come back to earth. Oh, so now you're just painting the scam wick itself is the anchor point. I don't know if that's fair yet, because what if it's not done selling, man? I just, you realize you anchor. He posted another one. You anchor when there's a discernible valley of some sort, a bottom that's been put in, right? So maybe, okay, one anchor point, right? One here, because it began to rally. This is it, man. Like, you can't do that yet. You need to, okay, it held, and then it rallies. All right, and then it's valid. But then it's like, if you anchor now and it just keeps selling off next week and just dumps through it, was it even really a demand line? No, it wasn't. So I think it's just too early. I mean, you know, if you want to make sense of something, I get it, but I don't think it's really a pin it on Bitcoin right now. No. And Adam's very bad, below 2650, very bearish. I mean, you can't be bullish on this asset till it gets back above 2850. Above 2850, you're in great shape for $43, $44. You're not, though. You just failed. And you're about to close below it for the first time since the date of September 8th. This critical inflection point. You can't like it. Maybe it gets back above it, we'll talk. I'll like it again above those levels. It's all about the ifs, and it's always about the levels. That's your Adam. Okay. As futures continue to climb, S&P, Dow Jones, money printer go birth. They can't let the system collapse. It can't even dump hard enough to where people will freak out, because all the boomers will just start selling and getting out, panicking. Deflationary death spiral connect. Nice. Yikes. Okay. Pretty easy chart here. Love the chart. I think it's awesome. I mean, it's a good request in certain ways. There's not much data on it. This is HAPI. We got a shark, undeniable shark going on right here. Nearing the pattern completion zone, if not already at it. It's a beautiful, beautiful shark. Wow. 886 was right here. Now remember, worst case scenario, say Bitcoin wants to keep dumping or something, 113. 113 would take it to all-time lows. Shoot, man, you don't want a 113 here. Good God, you gotta have an 886. Unfortunately, at an 88% retrace, potential pattern completion zone, there's not an edge yet, like on the daily. Just, you haven't even seen positive momentum since October 25th. You're at your lowest relative strength you've seen since July, and you're nearly oversold. Maybe the 4-hour has something, but I doubt it, because that big dump just happened. Yeah, there's no like confirmation low, but these are, hey, time to watch it. Time to put it on the watch list.
Hey,
HAPI.
can you check out Zeta USDT? You're the best.
Full stack, thanks, man. Yeah, we'll look at Z. Sure. So yeah, I mean, this is exactly where an asset can and has reacted. Reacted as in the selling stops and a new short-term rally ensues, but it oftentimes rallies, makes a substantially lower high than previous high, and then sells off again to test that same level. Not one time, but two. On the second test, that is where we're looking to take action. You can just see your zone here, right? Yeah, we'd be lucky to get down to 39.77 for that second test. But yeah, nothing quite yet. But yeah, this is where you would go long once there's confirmation that the bottom's in here. It's just, it hasn't confirmed anything yet. The selling hasn't even stopped. I mean, it just, on this 4-hour candle, it's hit its lowest low of the entire sell-off. So with that going on, how can you think about taking action? You can't. Because it could go to the 113 if Bitcoin wants to dump more, right? S&P, Dow Jones continue to climb on the new week. So it was so bad last week, and look at it now. Doesn't matter for now. Okay, next one. Yeah, pretty devastated. Just I mean, you know, it's not like it's over or anything completely. It's just you know, this one topped out. It's made a lower high recently. It's at its own major level. Like, you must post log scale. Yeah, I mean, this something like this looks like almost, hey, if it doesn't hold 56 cents, it's going for a full reset to paint another major M shape, right? Just a shark. Okay, so for now, there's no action to take on this asset. You know, even if you were like, I'm going to strategize taking a long at a critical support. Well, first off, you haven't even tested it yet. Second off, the asset could test that and break through it like it was a hot knife through butter. That's why you don't. That's why going long on the initial test is normally folly, because that can happen a lot, and even it can sell off below it and then rally back above it a day later or 2 days later. So that's why the confirmation low is so important. You don't have that. You haven't even reacted here. So I mean, the safest play for Ren would be, of course, playing the waiting game. Another shark. All right, you got yourself another shark here, where the pattern completion zone is the 88%. Retrace right there, 38.7 cents. You're still a good 37% off that level. So I don't think there's anything you can do here. I mean, like, taking a long here is just gambling, right? I mean, you tell me, you give me an argument why it's not gambling right now when it hadn't even tested that high from August of last year. Yeah, sorry. When big moves like Friday happen, it wipes the slate clean across the entire market, like always, and then it just requires time for candles to be painted, presented, for structures to develop so we can identify them, and then maybe gain an edge with some seller exhaustion. But normally seller exhaustion only comes, there's one wave down, then attempted rallies, then failures, then other sell-offs that make you go to make a higher low, a double bottom, or a lower low. And on those sell-offs, that's when you get the seller exhaustion. You combine that with inflection points, with deep 88% retraces, and then all of a sudden you got a good chance. You got a good ingredient. You're having good ingredients and variables lined up saying the same thing, and that's reversal at the upside. You don't have that yet at all. Okay?
It's that time of the day to be requesting FTM, downside targets, or value entry areas.
What's up, big man? Thanks, dude. We'll look at it. All right. All I can say, we'll look at it. So that's Ren. He says, don't trust the TA in Ren, but it's like, why not? Why not trust in the TA and wait for the market to come to you? If it doesn't get there, who cares? Whatever. You just hit the space bar, and eventually you'll find an asset that's going to do everything you want it to do. Eventually. Or it's nearing those levels.
Bear markets do not start in fear.
So
0.011764999 ETH.
Thank you, dude. They don't start in fear. Well, the trend is not in jeopardy yet, chat. It's just not.
All not much to look on left but EQZ, equalizer, any chance you can take a look? Thinking an entry at 0.2530 to 0.2599 would be juicy. Thought please. Thanks from the UK.
Girl Heart, thanks, man. Yeah, well, look, EQZ. I ate. Yeah, I have to be a broken record, man. It's the only way people will retain information and knowledge. Repetition. Isn't repetition the mother of habit or something like that? It's like I'm the broken record, so you don't have to, but it is very smart for the things you learn here and other places. It is always important to apply them yourself alone and to practice. Identifying harmonics, you get out your Scott Carney harmonic books, you have all the pages tabbed where all the coordinates are of each harmonic, and you start going around. Go to 1990, go to 2005, go to 2008, look for harmonics, identify them, find the M shape, the W shape, and say, hey, I can see an M shape or W shape here, and then you plot it with your tools, and you say, which one is this? I don't really know. Hold on, I'm trying to think. You refer to the book to memorize the coordinates. of all the different ones. Okay, next one. Oh my goodness. It's okay-ish. Kind of, wow. So an ice line from May 23rd has been tested not once but twice as support. I love on the second low. Whoa. Whoa, on the second low on the daily there is classic bullish divergence. Seller exhaustion implied here. That is really good. That is not existing like anywhere right now on this market.
Thoughts on Scott Carney's tweet about if this is within 33K and 13K targets?
It's all about the ifs, okay? What I know about Scott Carney is, you know, it's all about the supports, resistances, and the price action to those levels, and it's all about will 42K hold? If it doesn't hold, you're screwed. You're going much lower. You drop 40, you're going to 30. You drop 40, or you drop 40, you're going to 30. You drop 30, you're going to 20. It's easy. You drop 20, you're going to 13K, yeah, probably, for like an 88% retrace. Sure, but at the same time, that may never happen because Bitcoin never breaks extremely important levels that are support. They stay as support. Okay, it's just the same thing where it's like him or anyone else or even me. It's, hey man, if 30K doesn't hold this summer, we're probably going to 20K. There's nothing holding you up. There's looking left. There's no support. So it's like, what happened? It fell below 30K like once for real, and then immediately rejected that and ran right back above 30K and never saw it again. We went 69K from there. What's up, Ross, dude? Roll Tide. That's right. Roll MFT, dude. Yeah. So it's interesting. I mean, I don't like that you've just double topped the lower high, but now you're trying to make a second confirmation low at this ice line with divergence.
Here is some hopium. Omicron variant news spooked market, but till now has shown no sign of increased mortality rate. If this holds true, fasten your seatbelts for liftoff.
I know Scott Carney says 33K and 11K if 47K, 42K don't hold, right? He's not claiming it's going there and he knows. He's claiming if support doesn't hold. Okay. All right, so I mean, this is actually pretty interesting here. Like, you hold 38 cents and this divergence plays out. If the TA is respected for real, this happens. Yep. Really good. Really, look at that. Look at demand line was tested too. Dang, man. ZEE is looking pretty freaking interesting here. Better than like Bitcoin, better than all these S coins. This one's pretty freaking good. Above the 200-day moving average. Wow, Z, what are you doing, man? Okay. I can get behind some Z. All right, let's see if it plays out, chat. Have your alert set above 57 cents. Once 57 cents breaks straight up to 77 cents, then it could just be an X and a B, a C, and a D or something, right? A wave. Above 77 cents is 111. Yeah, but this is one to have on the watch list too, chat. I don't know what it is. I've never been here in my life. It's new, but it looks freaking pretty interesting technically at these levels. And I just presented the argument why, right? Not my feelings. Technical analysis. Okay, next one was FTM. The yes got obliterated like most others, down 11.25%. As oh, it's awful, man. You top out, there you go. Like, you're still above the 200-day moving average. What's up, Ox, man? Dude, thank you for the 150 on the day.
0x_untipped $100. $FLX. Seeing large trades for the ZRC20 reflects our own governance token. How does this one look? Thank you, Mitch. Appreciate your work.
So Ralph,
Say no to
thank you,
printers.
Ox,
Say
and we'll put it on the
yes to
list.
blocks. Blockchain don't stop.
I know it doesn't, but momentum-driven asset classes don't stop either, right? Like this one. Yeah, this one's in a correction now, I think, right? You made a high, then a lower high, then a lower low, then a lower high. You were downtrending, right? You had classic distribution going on in the end on the daily, and then you had the support, and it was all about the support if it could hold, and it didn't hold, and that's it. So I don't think you're really holding on to anything right now. I think the next target is 95 cents where you are. Yeah, there's no edge. There's no seller exhaustion after 3 peaks, right? 3 falling peaks. But yeah, on the way up, all kinds of cool bullish patterns, all this technical support being held as, you know, what was once resistance became support. Moon, bullish pennant, falling wedge, okay. It tested what was once resistance became support, okay, moon. But now it's like we're on the other side of the fence, the other side of momentum. It finally topped out, and it's like why going long on assets that have done this, it's always a bad idea, because it's just like your opportunity to make much more money is just limited compared to buying assets that have made deep retraces from their previous low to highs. That's not always in existence at any given time. It's like it only exists, you know, for a couple months during the summer, and then the run happens, and then it's over. And so it's like, okay, this might take a while. This might be correcting for a while. I mean, but as long as it stays, I mean, for real, as long as this asset stays above September 20th low at around 98 cents, the uptrend would continue, right? If you somehow pivot above this level, then that means there are still more market participants that own this asset than they did before, and that is so the continuation of accumulation in a long-term uptrend, even after you've corrected hard. There still could be more downside. Like, think about Scott Carney, what he was saying, what y'all were saying about what he said. It's like, he's talking about this, you know, if Bitcoin's done and it's correcting, okay, well then, you know, you're probably going for a deep reset in 886. So that means that FTM, when Bitcoin goes to 42K and lower, this is going down to 56 cents. You get it? I mean, that's going to happen. Of course, if Bitcoin keeps dumping, but we're hoping, you know, that that's not the case. We're hoping that, again, the way the world is going, you know, how screwed up it is, that Bitcoin will continue to make higher lows and then eventually higher highs again. So without an edge on the daily, with all this negative momentum building, without being oversold, being in the bearish control zone of the RSI, it's just not actionable. It's just not good anymore. It topped out. It literally topped out, and then distribution came in. And then the trend reversed in the short term, midterm. But long term, you're still okay. Still substantially higher than you were, you know, in July. Anyway. S&P just continue every time we come back to this chart, right? It's just a little bit higher than it was. EQZ. Oh, it's a crypto. Oh, we've been here before. Of course we have. Well, I mean, you can't say it's not at a critical inflection point. I mean, you're at levels, okay? This asset is at levels where you're looking for certain variables. Just because you're at a critical level of support doesn't mean it's actionable yet, right? Because you have no idea, right? I mean, what is EQZ? It's nothing. It's dumped, and it's sitting, and it's at the bottom of the range, and that's great because it could be actionable eventually. But for now, with the negative momentum building again, with there being no exhaustion from sellers implied on a significant time scale, being in the bearish control zone, anything below 40 is bearish control zone, bearish territory. Right? With all those things, there's just no action to take yet. But yeah, put it on the watch list and understand where we are. If 25.8 cents can hold, this is exactly where major reversals could occur. Yes, but normally what you're looking for at these areas are confirmation lows with seller exhaustion. Like you maybe fall below, you spring, maybe you back test the spring, you know, right here, and then the oscillators look good. This is when it's time to long, not now. You just don't know. It could just blast. What if Bitcoin just starts dumping? You think this thing's not going to make all-time lows? Bitcoin wants to go back down to 42K methodically and bleed out. This thing's going to the lowest low it's ever been to. You can't go much lower, can you? You can only go to 0. That's what you want to see, though. You don't have it yet.
Star launch. It doesn't have a lot of data, but dang, all the data on the 4 hour is beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. Thanks, Sanchez. We'll look at it. Put it on the list. That's all I can say. Thanks, man. But get it, chat? We all on the same page here. That yes, though, you just because you're at critical levels doesn't mean it's actionable yet. That's it. You want this. If you don't get it, screw it. Forget about it. Andrew, good luck, man. Good luck. Okay, next one was Dash. That they went for that full reset. It's a really, really disappointing story across these markets, man. I mean, I really, really, man, this is so busy. There's so many lines here because there's so many that, you know, like below this 133 area, it's not good, man. Like you know, look at this straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, you know, straight up and straight down, straight up, straight down. It didn't go straight up there, but like that's where eventually it ran to. When it bottomed out, it eventually made it to the top. So you're just thinking, if it doesn't hold, it's probably going down to $65. That will happen if Bitcoin's done, right? If Bitcoin's like topped out and it's gonna go down to 40K and whatever, 33K and all those areas again, then yeah, Dash will go to $65 again. It'll be the same levels it was at in November of 2020. Yes, if this support doesn't hold, you're in a lot of trouble. You've just confirmed distribution, right? You bind climax, you rallied, you thought, hey, everything's good still. You're still making higher lows. You nice rally. You just made another higher low in October, and then you were rallying again. You were breaking resistance. Then Bitcoin, time ran out. Not enough demand on the macro, so a flush happened, and nothing's changed on this either. So, yeah, you are at an area where if you break it, you could very well, this asset could lose in a pretty short period of time. It could lose 50% of its value if it falls below 133 long enough, okay? So just be careful, understand things changed. Things were really good, and now all of a sudden confirmed distribution, and now no more accumulation. That is confirmed, right? Lower low than September 25th low, the discernible swing low. The new data presented has taken the wind out of the sails of any sort of bullish bias right now on Dash. Okay, I'm just telling you, I'm being real. It looked good, not anymore. New data. We have to change with the new data. Okay, that's it. I think this is too deep for any kind of formal harmonic, right? That was a 70% maybe retrace. I don't think it's a Gartley, is it? Shoot, this is a Gartley, man. No, it hit a 78% retrace right there. That's terrible, right? A 786 on B and a lower high on C. You know what that means? Potential bearish butterfly or bullish butterfly eventually, which could take you all the way down here, man. Fib extensions. No thanks. Gross. Hey, S&P and Dow Jones continuing to climb their session highs on the new week.
Mitch, the gig is up. We all know the crash was caused by your lack of facial hair. A man of your wisdom without a beard. Duh. Thanks for all you do.
Oh, that's just like your opinion, man. Saying I have wisdom. Just a guy, just a random guy on the internet, okay, that likes the same things you like. Yeah, dude, there's white in my beard now sometimes in certain areas, so I don't like them anymore.
Noise! Jeffrey Pidcock super chatted $30. 30 for positive vibes at the close.
Positive vibes in the chat. Thank you, Jeffrey, for the 30 super chat. Much love. We got, wow, nice weekly candle close in less than 1 minute, chat. If you're enjoying the live stream, hit that like button, that bell, that sub. This is how it's going to look. All right. The daily candle will close in 45 seconds right here. Just nothing, just complete nothing after yesterday's insanity. And we go to the weekly so you can see how this candle paint will dry. Right here, lowest weekly candle close since September 27th. Negative momentum has just begun to build. RSI, lowest level since July. 48, so neutral right now on a weekly. 10 seconds, chat. And you're closing below $50,000 on the week as well. Somehow, miraculously, above, or miraculously you were up on the day. Okay, dude. New weekly candle has been born. Sorry, it sucked. The last one anyway. Maybe this week will be good. Right? I mean, you did hit this level. You did hit the pattern completion zone, undeniably, of a textbook bullish shark pattern. I mean, that happened. So maybe I think what could happen eventually, you could ping pong between 47.5, 52.6. You would think though, right? What it always likes to do, what market participants like doing is, if you're above a certain level, eventually you'd run to the next level. You could test 52,633 as resistance before just ultimately making a much lower high than the previous highs and doing the same thing you did, right, to another level. This time at the next one, just below it at 53K, whatever, and then you dump again. And then eventually maybe you bleed out to 42K, and then you get a double bottom down there. And it could be a legendary trade setup, but, you know. So, right, if you're above 47.5, which is just kind of like a swing low from April 24th, swing high from August 14th and September 19th, I guess you're okay. I mean, like, I think if you're above 47, 48K, you can't go to 42K again until you fall below that level and you're above it. I mean, you close the day above it. It's very real. It exists. It's not a joke. I mean, it's not like, I don't think it's near as strong as like 57, 58K or now 63.5, 65K now, but it's still there. And it did technically yesterday on the, which was a moment ago today, back test that level as support. So it went down, tested it. Oh, it is support for now. Market participants are telling us, and it rallied to close right where it was. And now we're just hanging out. We're going to go up and down. You're going to be swinging around. Unless you fall below 47.5 fast, you'll be going between 47.5 and 52.6. So you're in just this zone. It's each one, right? Between 58K and 63.5, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down, right? Between 53K and 58K, you go down, you go up. Oh, you can't break it. It's resistance again. Okay, then you dump again. No edge yet, chat. Ethereum. Somehow, if you can even dream about this or even believe it, Ethereum closed the day above its old candle high close from May 11th. That is so good. I can't believe how good that is. All right, there's just like the Ethereum and Bitcoin chart are so dissimilar. They're so different. Like one just looks like, oh yeah, just what, a little blip. Yeah, that's crypto volatility, no big deal. Like not breaking any technical levels. I mean, you did break 43.84. Okay, I get it, man. That's what's going to happen when Bitcoin drops like 40% or 30% in like a day or whatever. Yeah, you're going to get the volatility. But look at after it rallied, it's just up here. It's so good. I mean, I'm still Ethereum moon boy in this regard. It's just because it outperforms so well. Oh, I forgot to show you. Ethereum to Bitcoin, chat, made a beautiful Japanese candlestick continuation. Here it was. And you caught some follow through price action. I know Tom Crown had pinged me on it, tweeted, but you have a 5 Japanese candlestick bullish continuation called the Rising 3 Methods. It's like this should be in a textbook right here. It's on the daily. It's incredible. It's so good. And like, I mean, you are nearing, I mean, you did hit multi-year highs yesterday, which is technically today, but it's yesterday now because the universal time we just closed 3 minutes ago. Just made multi-year highs. And you're now nearing a major level where you could certainly reverse here finally, right? Because you just ran from 7.7 million to 8.5 million sats. But if you ever break that, oh my God, 10 million sats. This is what I'm saying. Ethereum's just a different animal. Something's changed. Something's in the water, chat. I don't know. And here it is. I mean, like, if you want to see it, this is what's happened. I mean, it makes plenty of sense. Like, you can't be surprised about Ethereum because it was technically sound. It was set up perfectly, right? I mean, everything you could dreamed of, all the things we want on a chart, we had it. And there you are. I mean, you hit today, or yesterday technically now, the third target of what would be of the trade setup, right? And if you ever break 8.5, you understand it's like 10 million sats plus, almost 11, closer to 11 million sats. It's all about that next level. So this is exactly where, right? If you're at profit-taking levels, this is exactly where people take profit and the price does reverse, normally just temporarily to make a higher low than the previous low before pivoting and running again, and the prevailing trend continues, which is bullish trend, right? Very, very parabolic uptrend. Yeah. Okay. But just because this is going up doesn't mean that Ethereum to the US dollar is going to go up. It doesn't. It just means that when Bitcoin to the US dollar sells off, Ethereum just loses less value to the US dollar than Bitcoin itself. And that's how this thing stays propped up and stays higher. So in this situation, if you're owning like Ethereum to Bitcoin, you know, you're still losing US dollars, right? Because Bitcoin is, but you're gaining more, you know, sats. You're gaining, which is good, you know. In these environments, it's all you can do, really, unless you're just shorting, net short. But yeah, okay. So here's like the thing to leave you with, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty slow stream, right? Did we even get through all the requests? I mean, there were only a few. Okay, there's like one more request. No, two more requests. No, yes, two more requests. But as long as Bitcoin stays above 47.5, 48.1, you're okay. Below that, yeah, you're probably going to 42K again, and it's going to be happening fast. Okay, that's it. Pretty simple. So that's how you protect yourself, knowing the levels. You've got to know the levels, and there's only one left until substantial downside again. Okay, let's go to the next request. Which was FLX. Is it a crypto? Flux token? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, it has to be. FLX. He said, how's it look? Dude, this is how it looks. Not good. Terrible. Terrible. That's it. I guess I'll go to the 4 hours so we can get like a few more candles. Terrible. You tipped 100 for this, OX, man. So I feel bad. I'm like, well, I don't know what I can do. This has to be it. And if it's not, Reflexor ungovernance token, then you got to give me a valid ticker, because this isn't it. OX, you got something to say, man? You got, you know, man, like, what say you? Of course, I mean, the lengthening of the cycles, it's happened every cycle. Each time, 2013, you had an amount of time, and then 2017 cycle, it lasted longer. This one's lasting longer, right? Yeah, you'd think. I don't know, he's not here. This can't be right. Probably not, but dude, he said FLX. And I'm like, okay, FLX. It's not any of these things, he said. Oh, it's only to wrapped ether. Flex governance. He says Reflexor. This is Flex ungovernance. Here we go. This is probably it.
Jason super chatted $30. Hex please. How is holding up?
Thanks, dude. Well, look, much love. Really interesting here. This looks really good, actually. You know why? Look at this. I mean, you didn't catch a confirmation low, but dang, you eyeball. Maybe it's too deep. Yeah, too deep. An M shape, 100%. You know, whatever. Anything close. The closer you get to this number, this 0.064, the lower the risk, right? And since it's been there, it's well off it. Now it's in the dead middle. But like eventually, if it's going to keep rolling, it's up 14.4% today. So what do you want from me, man? Well, like if you're talking about a range-bound asset, the closer you are to the bottom, the lower the risk is to strategize, right? For an entry and stop loss. And the further you get away from that, the higher the risk becomes for a strategic entry and stop loss, okay? I think it's up so much that it's impossible to strategize an entry now, like at a low risk area, the lowest risk area. So, but I'm saying if maybe you're in it already, the asset target I think would probably be 13.9 cents, the top of the range. The weekly probably is insane. Maybe, yeah, maybe it's like kind of triple bottoming or something, descending triangle stuff. It's not bad. A bullish engulfing candle last week. Wow. Yeah, this Flex ungovernance token actually doesn't look too bad, even though you are unfortunately a little high off the best entry area. Maybe it's Wyckoff accumulation going on. You know, that's cool. Eventually, it could break 13.9 cents and go up to 18 cents, 20 cents, and then the moon after that. So, yeah, it's not a bad chart at all. Not much data, but still. So this chart served a purpose, right? And maybe that purpose was just educating someone watching, you know, and not understanding range-bound trading and buying low, selling high, and maybe now they get a better understanding of why it makes sense to take longs the closer we are to inflection points. But I just don't know if you even had enough confirmation down here. There wasn't divergence down there, you know, like you didn't really have, it wasn't that great. There was actually technically a little bit of bullish divergence on the daily. Wow. Though it played out there. A little late though now, right? Okay, next one was stars. Don't think I've ever been here before. Star launch. Nah, first time. First time here. You know, there's no data. Like you said, it doesn't have a lot of data, but dang, all the data on the 4 hours, beautiful. I mean, beautiful as in, how can the data be beautiful if there's not enough of it to even have that argument? I mean, like, what am I supposed to do here? Like, it retraced 50% from its opening price to its highest price. You know, I don't have anything else. I think it's too little of data to even do anything, man. I'm sorry. I know you requested 20, but it's like, if you give me this little data, it's not my fault that there's not enough for me to do here. And still, I'm just kind of like, is this the bottom? Is that an X, A, B, C, D? If it is, then there's lower prices. Then it needs to come down to 550 again. Test that level. Yeah, even on the 4 hour, it doesn't even really look that. Yeah, right there, maybe 571 to 7. You know, deep retrace from that previous low to high. Yeah, 886 would make far more sense, a lot more sense for a long than now. You didn't even hit a 786 yet. I don't think there's anything to do on this yet. No action to take. But yeah, I think if you got down lower, 571 between that and 7. That could be a more actionable area, but then you'd have to wait for a confirmation low, divergence, everything, right? I think you'd get divergence. If you dumped one more time, you will get divergence on both oscillators most likely. So I think the name of the game would just be waiting here till better areas from November. Okay. Okay. Hex that just, I'm sorry, man, you can't do anything when, like, yeah, even this one, right? So the last time we looked at it, we were painting a lower high, you know, and it's like, oh, it looked good, and then you rallied, and then you made a lower high, and it's like, dang, man, all of a sudden you're selling off, and now you're back below the critical level of inflection, and then the market crashes, and this one was certainly affected by that. The correction continues here. Right, I mean, and if you don't hold this 15.2 cent area, you are going down to 11 cents. I mean, it could be over. This thing could be going for an absolute full reset from like the low way back from November of 2020 to the high. I mean, this thing could be going way lower. So all you think it's like maybe bottoming out, but it failed.
Noise. I'm thinking $18 target on ENS. What do you think? That'll be 88% of the whole move from $10 to $85. Thanks.
Sure, thank you. Be mindful. We'll look at it. Yeah, I mean, like the weekly, no edge. You just had the lowest weekly candle close since August 2nd. And it could be on its way to lower prices. I mean, like below 17 cents, I'm not really digging it. I'm thinking 10 cents, 11 cents next. If this, dude, it's not making any higher lows anymore. It's not making higher lows any. It was trying to double bottom. Double bottom's not good enough. There's no like real accumulation yet. But double bottoms are like you're confirming, but then it ran up to make a lower high than the previous high. So distribution's still going on, and then the market crashes. Terrible combination for Hex. I mean, it's just. And no way this thing's gonna reverse yet. You know, it can't. Nothing can really reverse yet until Bitcoin finds a bottom, and we have no idea where the bottom is on Bitcoin. Chat, you just don't know. Futures on Bitcoin just hit the lower lows than when we opened. As you can see right here, we had an open around 49.2, and now we're just 49. We just hit 48.865. Wrecked, man. Super wrecked market. Well, even on the daily, Hex made its lowest daily candle close since August 14th. I mean, there's no accumulation confirmed. Like, no one's buying it. Not enough people are buying it yet for a bottom. Not yet, anyway. Just, if you get back above 17.5 cents, you'll be okay. And that's the area we're going to be watching for, okay? We're below it right now. Well. This dumped. I'm so surprised. Trying to look for my work though. Here it is. Oh my God. You see? You understand why now? Why the argument up here was so bad. It was like our argument was this is a terrible place to take a long. The only thing you could be talking about now is taking a short.
$XSR.
And look at it now. We even painted the harmonic and it bottomed out there.
Spam. Possibly the smelliest test coin ever seen. But do you see accumulation?
Well, look, OX man, thanks for the $200 on the day. Dang, man, really appreciate that. We get some hype in the chat.
Hype in the chat.
For OX being session top Jesus, thanks. But man, this is perfect. Literally, thank you so much, ENS, because this was extremely educational. Someone requested this. We had double topped. We had made a confirmation high at the pattern completion zone of the bearish chart. And then you were asking questions like, this is terrible. This is like, going long here is literally how you lose all your money. And you know, we didn't know Bitcoin's going to crash, but this crashed with it, and it played out beautifully. And now it's at deep value perceived areas. Unfortunately, at this area, there is no edge, right? Just because you get to a PCZ, just you get to the bottom of a range is normally never enough. You got to have confirmation. Wait, you get down there once. Okay, then you rally. Oh my God. And then you sell, you bleed back out. You get back down to $43 or $39. We start showing some bullish divergence. Say you get oversold again on ENS on the 4 hour, right? You come down here and you get back down to those same levels. Oh my God, actionable would be a long trade. It'll be a trade setup down at these areas for sure. Yes. Well, I'll post a trade setup once we get what we need, just a little bit more data that we need to take action, right? Confirmation lows. This is how it starts. This is what you're looking for, the same thing. Confirmation lows on an asset at critical areas. We're looking for it, okay? No action take yet, but dang man, you're getting there. Came right on down. You break B, the bad action magnet move, 65. You go to the 886 phenomenon Scott Cardano talks about. It happened, Larry. It went beyond because of the crazy volatility. It got to 36.20. But dang man, imagine trying to long something, you know, that's confirming a top at an 886. What's up, William, dude? Yeah, roll tide, man. Roll tide. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, we had some new patrons who joined in the past like 24, 48 hours. So just giving them a shout out real quick. Thanks Crypto Nuub, Pawpaw, BJ, H, Jack E, and Albino Esk, thank y'all for joining the Patreon. Much love. We got a new week, and we got immediate selling on Bitcoin, right? Go figure. Down $650 in 19 minutes, and it probably will only get worse. I mean, the volatility is so elevated. This thing got to be swinging like crazy, and don't get chopped up in this time, right? If you don't have an edge, and you think, oh my God, I'm gonna miss it. It's like, okay, it rallies some off where you enter randomly, and then it dumps. You can get chopped up, man. Look at this. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's terrible. Like, okay, so with Ethereum, unfortunately, yes, it broke and closed the daily back above a critical inflection point. But if Bitcoin dumps, it doesn't matter. This thing is going to act as a resistance. It has been for the past 24 plus hours. So if like you are just chopping around and you can't hold here, if Bitcoin is going to dump, this thing's going down to 39.50 again, certainly. Yeah, dude, Bitcoin's going down to like 47,000, 46,000 and below. You're going to 39.50 to test it again. All right. And, you know, something you could think about, and it would be amazing. Like, this would be really good. You know, eventually you chop out here, whatever, and then you bleed out and you test this demand line again. And we get some sort of like double bottom at the demand line. Like similar to what we saw in September. You got a few lows, right? You're looking for confirmation lows at demand lines. They happen. And this would probably be optimum for a long opportunity, because what's going to happen is it'll sell off like that with Bitcoin, and then the oscillators will look something like this, right? You'll be diverging. You'll probably get oversold again on the 4 hour. And hopefully though, when you're oversold, you just are pivoting at higher levels, just like here, this bullish divergence. Do it here, do it again, and that's where you're looking at an inflection point, at a demand line with seller exhaustion applied on a confirmation low on the second low. That's what you want to see. You don't have that yet. I'm saying this is what you want to see if you want to take action. There's just nothing you can do yet. You buying now is literally, hey, if you don't have a strategy and you're just dollar cost averaging, longing because holds, okay, that's cool. But if you're talking about like strategizing for an actual swing trade using a formula, there's just nothing to do yet. The dump just happens too soon. Okay. All right. Well, that's did we get all of them? Now we got one more. First time here. Never been on this. The scam wicks, man. It's like, okay, I don't know, man. Like, it looks like that's a level of inflection. How many times in history you've regarded it? Countless times. That's it. So 4.6 100ths of a cent, nearing that level again. I don't know. You pump, you dump, you pump, you dump, you pump, you bleed out. I don't know, man. Right? If you're above that level, you're okay. Below it, you're screwed. Like, if you break that level, you're going down to 2.5 100ths of a penny. Right? That is straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up. Countless. Up, down, up, down, up. I mean, it'll go straight down again. So if that level holds, you're good. If not, you're going much lower. I don't know. I wouldn't be messing with this ever. Oh, God, look at the trend. It's terrible, man. Are you kidding me? Miserable. Long-term downtrend. Long-term downtrend on this asset. OX, thanks, man. All right. Yeah, people want to see this trash. They're like, hey, if you want to look at trash, you can just go downstairs and open up your trash can. You don't have to look on KuCoin for something called XSR. Okay, you just don't. So here's your Bitcoin on the new day and the new week. After achieving successfully the pattern completion zone of a bullish shark, you are back above some levels. I mean, some very real level. It's not a joke. It exists. Like, to deny its existence is naivete. I mean, it peaked February 9th, and it's been a support before. I mean, think about it. This is how you know it's real for now. And it could break, though. But if it holds, like, one time in history, when this area that it's trying to back test as support here, when it held, the asset rallied up 25% in 2 weeks. So that's how you know it's real. How else do we know it's real? Because there was one time when you failed to break it, then the asset in 3 days lost 18% of its value. You get it? So that's how you know it's real. Look at this. I mean, back in history, the first time in history, once it truly broke this level, right, and back tested it as support, it ran up. I mean, it went up 20%, 21% in 5 days. So it's real, and you're above it, and you're okay until you fall below it. So 47.5, that's your cutoff, chat. All right, you stay above this long enough, I do think you'll probably catch a rally to 52.633, because historically, that's what happens when you break this level. You hold the level, you run up to the next one. Right? You broke it that time, and it was regarded as support. Right? There was one time, look, you broke back above that level. What'd you do? You went straight up to 52.6, right? And then you sold off right back to that level. Then you held, and then you went straight back up to it again. But that time you broke it. See what I'm saying? You're above a level. If you can hold above it long enough, you probably go to 52.6 to go back test serious levels as resistance again before selling off. Same time, if you can't hold 47.559, you are going straight back down to 42K, and it won't be surprising. You can't be surprised. When you break this level, look what happened historically. May 17th, when the asset broke this level, you know, I mean, in 3 days, it lost 12% of its value right back down to the next level inflection. You know, that time you never held, you actually lost 35% of your value in 8 days. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. On Bitcoin and Ethereum is just now trying to still regard what was once a daily old all-time high candle close in May is resistance right now. It's trying to, it did break and get a daily candle close above it, but there's no way, like, it's not going to break this level if Bitcoin dumps. It won't. It's certain it won't break this area. But if Bitcoin holds and starts rallying and goes to 52, what was it? 53.6, can't remember. Then this thing will probably go to 43.84 to test the very top again. So it's all determined by Bitcoin. Look at this, you know, down $87, 2% already in 27 minutes, and might just get worse. I mean, things have changed. You have lower highs locally, you know.
Hey,
long term, you're up.
Hope you are doing well. Can you please provide your TA for NVDA?
Yeah, that broke down like many other things. Yeah, I just had a little channel up here. I don't think it matters that much. I think you might, like, just depends what equities do. But down 4.46%. I think a gap fill is always possible. You know, down here at 292. Other than that, I mean, like, you know, can you be surprised with the equities market doing what it's been doing? It sells off. This has been outperforming the living crap out of everything, though. I mean, this is like Ethereum, you know. It's super strong. It's one of the high flyers. It's one like Apple, Amazon. It's like one that's propping up the market. Nvidia is just one of them. Okay, so there's no action to take. The last time it made sense at all to take action was down here in October when this was successfully identified as a bullish Gartley. That was it. That was your last time that it made any sense to long. Now it's Rudy Poo. People take some profits, whatever. You have long-term hold hold positions on this because you know what it is. It's amazing how much money it makes. And clearly investors dumping billions into it lately. So, I mean, think about the asset from the pattern completion zone of the bullish Gartley at its all-time high. Went up 76% in 48 days. Incredible. Like, unreal good. So if the money printer go burr, this will continue to outperform and be one of the leaders of the entire market. That's Nvidia. It's got a trend. It's got a tendency to do that. Yeah. What a beast. All about the index funds. What they do is going to determine this. But I'll tell you this: if the index funds dump, this is going to outperform. That means it'll sell off, but it's not going to lose near as much value as the index funds, especially value. This is a nasty, amazing growth stock. That's right, NVIDIA for life. Win NVIDIA tattoo. Yep. This changed my life way back. So what are we gonna do, chat? Are we gonna hold 48K, 47K, or nah? We're just going straight down to 40K again, like it was nothing. What are we gonna do, chat? You hold this. The upside potential from where it is right now, 7 to 8% upside. You don't. Where you are now, if you're gonna break it, you got 14-15% downside. It's all about the ifs. Without an edge, it can only be if. What is going on? Who's screaming? Okay. Jeez. Okay, I think we're good. I think we have a little bit better understanding of where things are related to their critical inflection points. And we just don't know, with sellers not being exhausted on any time scale, we just don't know if these levels that they're trying to hold are gonna hold. They very well may not. Just don't be surprised. Okay. So I want you all to enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's been an honor, of course, to be able to hang out with you and talk about the things we love, which are just charts and sometimes crypto, sometimes equities. Just depends, right? And maybe we can hold, but if not, more pain. All right. So thanks for the likes, the love, the support, contributions, everything in between. Until next time, respect the TA.
JP. I'm a robot. I like robots. I have a robot vagina.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei!
And then, just like that,
Adios, turd nuggets.